Hello viewers, heartiest welcome to this IELTS reading session part 1. Hope you're doing fine in this lockdown situation. Anyway, today's session will be conducted by the Ugly Asian Guru, the UAG. Why the Ugly Asian? As English is his second language, the Ugly Asian Guru understands you better. Experience. The Ugly Asian Guru has been teaching IELTS over 26 years. Knowledge. He is a famous writer. 16 plus books on IELTS, TOEFL, vocabulary and ELL. A qualified teacher. The UAG is a qualified English teacher. Dedicated. The UAG is dedicated to teaching and research on tests such as IELTS, TOEFL and PTE. Has taught multinational learners in Australia, Bangladesh, Malaysia, USA and UK. Here comes the Ugly Asian.
Hello viewers, no more talking then. Let's just say what is this session going to be addressing. As you know, this session is for you if you feel that reading is harder and you hate reading. And you hate reading just because reading gives you inadequate time and it is full of harder words, too long passages, too many question types, and some questions are really nuts, right?
Right.
Really nuts. They would be giving you a hard time ever. And you have a very different background. You might be a teacher or an accountant or whatever, but you don't want scientific articles to be given in IELTS. You hate reading because in the most reading passages, you find those scientific materials and many more. Okay. However, I don't agree with you because it is our reading habits that are working like silent killers. I would like to say that your bookish habits is, I should say, your bookish habits equal to venom and your attitudes equal to explosive. How? Because we have learned a lot of techniques, say skimming, speed reading, scanning, eye browsing, comprehending and reading questions ahead. All these are bookish techniques. If you read any IELTS reading book, go through the book and then they will be saying all these bookish things. They will explain in a very short span of pages, maybe in 1 or 2 pages on skimming, and then they would think that you are a master of skimming. But IELTS reading is not about skimming and comprehending and speed reading always. Yes, scanning has a major part here. However, today we're going to see that how we would balance all these strategies. Some of them are really bad, we would not be using at all, but some of them would be used in a limited scale. Okay, and our attitudes. We do brisk reading. We try to figure out, oh, this page, that paragraph. Let's try there. Okay. Oh no, maybe this answer is not given at all. Then we again fail to prioritize. Yes. Which one is first and which one is
last.
Yes. So what we do, we may start with say heading question or information finding, and that ends up with a very low score. Sometimes we give up our new techniques we have learned and try to go back to our school reading. Like at school, we had to read reading passages and that was comprehension. You had to read all the lines easily, slowly, understand the meaning, and then maybe you're writing a summary of the whole passage. So that is different from IELTS reading. And then you feel too stressed and tend to see familiar topics. As I mentioned, that if you are an accountant, you want to see something about accountancy, but the truth is that they don't pick up things from accounting or teaching or maybe flowering or whatever. So they pick topics from scientific articles of different books and magazines. Okay. Yes, sometimes there are social articles as well. However, mostly you will find a bit harder thesis type things. Could be from social arena, could be from science, could be from anywhere. Even if it is about accounting, that would not be as easy as an accountant can easily answer, because it is a language test, not your theoretical knowledge test. Okay, so before we start fighting, we need to know who we are going to fight against, right?
Right.
Your
enemy.
right. And we're going to do an anatomy of reading question types. Let's see. There will be 3 types of questions in my eyes. If your eyes are different, don't just pick this up. But there is one easy category, just 4 types of questions: true, false, not given, yes, no, not given, sentence completion, summary, notes, flowchart, or table completion. These 4 types are easy peasy. And the medium category are to be short answer questions, matching features, sentence ending, opinions, and finally diagram label completion. These 2 groups are really good for us to score high, but the difficult one would be matching headings, very hard, or not very hard though, but multiple choice a bit harder. And then matching information is really hard because they need a lot of time. It's not that they are very hard, but they sometimes need more time than other questions. Okay, how would we fight? The way forward is DJ method by the ugly Asian
Guru.
Yes, I am an ugly man, so going to discuss some ugly Asian techniques. Okay, story time first, because we need a bit relaxation. Okay, Mr. Kanailal is a great swimmer, but he is a great teacher of mine. How? Because when I was going to school and we had a swimming session to be conducted by Mr. Kanailal, who is one of the swimmers who crossed English Channel successfully many times. And Kanailal said, okay, divide yourself into 2 groups. One is group A, who knows how to swim, and then group B, who doesn't know how to swim. Okay, fine. And I knew how to swim, so I fell in group A. And Kanailal said, okay, group A is the trouble because they know how to swim, and group B doesn't know how to swim. They are quite good. And we are just like, oh my goodness, what is the man saying? And then he explained that, look, because you know how to swim, you use your hands and legs in an improper way. You don't know how to use your body properly, and you are your own enemy, right?
Right.
But the new groups, because they don't know how to swim, they would now learn proper and better techniques. Okay, so what is the gist of this Kanailal Sharma swimming story? The story is that you try to forget, you try to bin all your old ideas of reading and try a fresh start right today with ugly
Asian Guru.
Yes. And second is how much land one needs. Okay, if I die right today and I'd be needing maybe a few feet space in the whole wide land. I don't need that many acres of land, do I?
No.
Okay, but you think that on the very first day of your reading you need to get 9, which is
impossible.
Yeah, impossible equals I am possible. But you have to start with a humble beginning, because first you select how much you need actually to get a visa or get an acceptance letter from a university, and that is 6.5 to 7. So target first how you can make sure that you score 7, and then you stress to get 8 and then finally you come to my guru's gym to get 9. Yes. Okay. So, one step at a time please. Don't try to jump to get 9 right today after this session because this is part 1. We have more
to learn.
Yes, part
2 and 3.
Right. So, the other thing is that you always have prisoner syndrome. What is that?
That is when you are sitting to a test and you feel like you're forced to do it and it feels like prison.
Yes, because in a big jail there are many prisoners and they are forced to work. They don't get paid that much, but they have to work a whole day because they are criminals. So you think that you're sitting for IELTS, it's not for you, and some first world countries or universities are forcing you to sit for that test, which is pretty bad, giving you a bad feeling. Right?
Right.
That's why you are not working with enjoyment, with pleasure. So what you're doing, you're just doing it for the sake of doing but not doing it properly. So try to change your mentality that you just attack this IELTS problem as if it is another test like your master's degree, your bachelor's degree. So you need to do it by hook or by crook, right?
Right.
Okay. Now strategies. We will be learning strategies in 2 groups. One is our pre-reading strategies and the other is our during reading strategies. Also, I'll discuss a little about question ladder, but play with numbers in the middle box. You can see play with numbers and more would be coming in our next videos. Right?
Right.
But remember, the more you read,
the less you score.
Right. Yes. The more you read, the more you forget, because if you read 100%, you can score 40% only. But my model is read 40%, score
100%.
Right. Okay, let's see how you'd be reading. Learn the DZ strategies. Yeah. Okay. Pre-reading. Before you read any text, you see whether there is any heading or subheadings. Sometimes at the top there is a big heading and in the middle of each paragraph, at the top of each paragraph there are some small subheadings that would give you an idea that what the whole passage is about. And a glossary might explain some harder words that you may not know the meaning of, right?
Yeah.
Italics. Just after heading, you can have some italics sentences that are explanatory about the heading and about the passage itself. So try to read that. And finally, footnote. If you find that just at the bottom of the page there is a big underline type line and after the line there is something written, try to read that because that is sometimes important to understand any given term in the whole passage, right?
Right.
Okay. Now, reading techniques. Many people say don't read at all. Just go to the questions. But here you go. If you read the questions first, you are just swimming in a pond you don't know about. But before you jump in a pond, you need to know where you should jump in and whether you should jump in this pond or not. There might be crocodiles, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, sometimes in a pond in India, someone find a big crocodile. So in any pond there can be crocodiles, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you need to read 3 sentences of the paragraph to have the meaning. Have the theme of the whole passage. So just read the 3 sentences first and then start with easy group of questions, because if you start with information matching or heading questions, that may take much time. and pick up the right keyword from the question. So once you read 3 sentences, go back to the question, read the question and pick up 1 or 2 keywords, or at best 3 keywords, and then come back to the text and try to scan the text and find out if there is any similar or same word around. And if you get the word, underline it and mark the text with question number. I said very quickly, but I'm going to demonstrate in a minute how you are going to use this technique. But before that, we'll be discussing ascending order and how to select your keywords. See, I just mentioned in 3. Remember, don't forget, use ascending order for each group. What is that? I'll discuss. And do not waste time. Skip as you need, because skipping is good for health. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you don't skip, then you're getting wet. So we have to skip while we are reading. So let's just start. Choosing the right keywords. Okay. There will be 3 types of resources in the question, in the whole question paper, that you can rely on. The most reliable keywords are names of places and things, proper nouns, and second is numbers and percentages. Numbers are always a good keyword because numbers normally repeat in the text, and names of bigger places like Sydney, Australia or whatever, you can find exactly the same word in the text. But percentages, 50% and 100% is a problem, because 50% means half and 100% means whole. Yeah. So the other things could be capitalized words as mentioned here, abbreviations like WHO, World Health Organization, processes like photosynthesis, any social process or any scientific process, headings of questions. In some questions you find that a summary is given, but at the top of the summary they give a heading, and that heading normally repeats itself in the actual text. Also, words in italics can be found in the text as well. In the question, if you have any hyphenated words in the middle, say in the middle we have written moderately reliable, hyphenated words, a few words in between there are hyphens, meaning that all the words or any of the words will be found in the question paper. 3-word phrases, normally some of the words, either 2 or at least one of the words will be found in the text. And any word in the complement after verb. Try to focus on complement position, not on subject position. Not before verb, but after verb. And hardly reliable things are verbs, because verbs can have many forms: SES, without SES, ing or gerund, or to go or to blah blah blah, whatever.
Yeah,
went or gone or whatever. So subject wise, if you get any nice word in the subject place, if it is names or places or persons, yes, you can take. But normal subjects like a cat is moving, in that case a cat cannot be a very good keyword, right?
Right.
Okay. Now prepositions are not always, almost always prepositions should be ignored. And let's now see about ascending order. What is AO or
ascending order?
Yes. As the picture shows, ascending order means from smaller to larger or bigger. So if you find question number 1, answer to question number 1 at a specific spot in the text, mark it and write the question number there in the text, because question number 2 would be found just after that, 3 just after that, 4 just after that. So sequentially. So it is harder for you. The challenge for you is to find out the first answer to the question of the group. Right. So as it says here, for each group of questions, answers are arranged sequentially. For example, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So your challenge is to find the answer to the first question of each group. But remember, if a group of questions has 6 questions or 5 questions, those are coming sequentially, not the next group. Next group can start anywhere in the text. Let's see an example. On our right, you can see a reading passage given. At the top, it's a heading, and just after that, italics are notes, and at the bottom, there is a footnote. Now, you can see that 1 to 5 on the right, question 1, question 2 to question 5, they are falling within one group. So, once you get question number 1, you get question number 2, question number 3, question number 4. For some reason, if you don't get question number 2 somewhere, but you get question number 3, so you must know that answers to question number 2 would be found in between 1 and 3, not anywhere else. Secondly, if you check the left side, which is question number 6, 7, 8 and 9, question number 6 does not come after question number 5 just because it is a new group. It's a different group. So different group can start from anywhere else, and once you start from different group, meaning that those group would also be sequentially arranged. So as we mentioned here, if you spot answer to question number 1 somewhere, answer to question 2 comes next, then question 3, 4 and 5. The next group, however, can start from anywhere though. So don't just try to find the whole 13 questions sequentially given, because they divide questions into groups. Yeah. Oh, nice cup of tea in front. Wow. Yeah. Okay, tea time, but I'm not going away. We'll just practice in 30 seconds. Wow, tea, nice tea. Okay, now at this moment of time, we are going to practice, because practice
makes perfect.
But
if you don't like something, change it.
If you don't like DJ method or ugly Asian, just get rid of. Thank you. So we're going to go to our practice session right at this moment. Okay, here you go. We have got a reading passage taken from Cambridge IELTS book, and we'll be practicing 2 question types. One is yes, no, not given, and matching features. One is from easy category and the other is from medium category. Okay, because this is our first video, we will be trying to make it a bit easier, and then from the next video we're going to address the harder ones. Especially on video number 3, we'll be discussing all the 3 hard question types, and you can answer them in the twinkle of an eye. Okay, now this is a reading passage, but we can't see any heading. As is mentioned, you need to read the heading and subheadings. No subheadings here, just part 1 is written. Let's just check if there is any footnote. Oh no, there is no footnote, but it says why run when you can fly with us. Okay, the ugly Asian. So there is no footnote here as well. Okay, so what we'll be doing, we'll be reading the first 3 sentences. Let me just tell you that how we would track down. See here, this is one full stop. So this is another full stop. Just to show you, I'm just pointing those, but normally you don't need to just mark it. Okay, we're reading together. Air pollution is increasingly becoming the focus of government and citizen concern around the globe. So what we can do, we can say that okay, air pollution is not only citizen concern but also concern for the government. Okay, from Mexico City and New York, to Singapore and Tokyo, solutions to this old problem are being proposed. Okay, solutions are being proposed, trialed and implemented with ever increasing speed. Wow. Okay, it is feared that unless pollution reduction measures, so there is a fear, and able to keep pace with continued pressures of urban growth, air quality in many of the world's major cities, okay, so air quality is the concern, will deteriorate beyond reason. So when you say deteriorate, we understand that this word may be very hard for you. You may not know the meaning, but if you check here the context, it is feared that unless means if not pollution reduction measures are able to keep pace, then what? Definitely something worse will happen. So that is deteriorate. Deteriorate means going down day by day. If someone is deteriorating, their sickness is worsening day by day. Okay, so we are going to go to the question. 3 sentences enough, because we understood that this is about air pollution and concerns of government and citizens. Okay. Now, question number 1. This is question number 1. Now, as we mentioned, what is the question about? We have to read first. Look at the following solutions. Wow, solutions are given here. Fine. And if we take no, not that. Let's try to take sign. No. Okay. Close and try to take some kind of other tool. Solution. Okay, this is solution, right? So look at the following solutions. Questions on to 5 and locations. Where are my locations? Let's just figure out if locations are there. Yes. Here you go. Just after solutions, on the very next page, locations are given as well. So, and what we need to do is to match each solution with one location. So these are solutions 1 to 5, and we have to match with locations. Write the appropriate locations in boxes 1 to 5 on your answer sheet. Okay, I think we need to make a little bit smaller to fit in. Yeah.
NB.
Okay. NB. Yeah, NB is very important. Yeah. NB means special note, nota bene. You may use any location more than once. What does it mean? It means that a location, for example, Singapore or Tokyo, can be used once or twice or thrice or many times. Okay. Now, first thing first, read the question and try to take keywords. Let's do it ourselves. First, as we mentioned before, try to focus on the complement position. What is complement? After verb, clean occurs. So if you ask the question, manufacturers must sell, what would they sell? What must they sell? They must sell cleaner cars. Yes, cleaner cars. So this is your keyword, and taking this keyword in your brain, you are going back and think of, okay, I read from here to here. Did we read anything about car?
No.
Okay. So from here we need to read, and we'll be doing speed reading like this from right to left. Cleaner, cleaner, C, cleaner cars, C, starting with C. Anything, wait. Anything with C, anything with C, anything with C. Yes, cleanest, anything with C.
Yes.
Yes, C, and C. Yeah, we got it.
Cleaner cars.
So, see, a bad student like me or the beginners would just do this without reading from left to right. They're going to start from right to left. But if you're a speed reader, you can do actions being taken, blah, 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 blah. Is there any car? Is there any car? From left to right, is there any car to sell? Yes, sell, manufacturers, and ever cleaner cars. So I got that. Now, where is that? Los Angeles. Okay, so what we have to do, we have to mark this space with Q1, because possibly the answer of question number 1 lying here. Now you have to when you get your keyword here, you have to start from this beginning of the sentence and read up to the end and see if there is your answer given. So how you're reading? In Los Angeles, state regulations are forcing manufacturers to try to sell ever cleaner cars there first. So where? Oh, Los Angeles, state regulations are forcing manufacturers. Fine. So cleaner cars would be sold in Los Angeles. And they also mention their first of the cleanest, titled zero emission vehicles, have to be available soon, since they are intended to make up 2% of sales in 1997. So we wanted to find out where ever cleaner cars would be sold, and that is Los
Angeles.
Right. Now we have to write our answer here to question number 1, which is LA. Let's just write LA, Los Angeles. Now try to take keyword from the second. Authorities want to have power to enforce anti-pollution laws. Now ask the question, what would they want to enforce?
Anti-pollution laws.
Fine. Now if we underline this bit, I told you that there can be any hyphenated words, and if you get any hyphenated words, normally that hyphenated full 2 words or 3 words hyphenated, whole phrase can be found, or at least one part can be found always. So we would be picking anti-pollution laws and trying to figure out if there is anything like anti-pollution laws. So here we started, ended here. Now we're starting from local authorities and trying to figure out if we find anything like anti-pollution laws. Local authorities, blah, 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 anti-pollution laws. Yes.
Yeah.
So like this, giving a bullet point here, and we got anti-pollution laws here, and London is the place. So what we are doing, we are writing question number Q2. Yes. Now we are reading the sentence to grab the meaning. Local authorities in London are campaigning to be allowed to enforce anti-pollution laws themselves. Okay, so that's in London. At present, only the police have the power to do so, but they tend to be busy elsewhere, right? Okay, so we got our answer, which is
London.
London. I think London is your favorite, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so London. Okay, now keyword from the next question. Drivers will be charged according to the roads they use. Okay, drivers is in subject place. We are not taking that because we need to take something from the object place or complement position. So charged is your main verb, according to the roads they use. So how would they be charging? Charged, they'd be charged according to the roads
they use.
Yeah. So road use or roads they are using or whatever. So use can be using, used, or whatever, and road can be roads or just road. Let's just try and see.
Yeah.
So drivers will be charged. That is our main theme. Charged means they would be, they will have to pay, or money would be taken from them or whatever. But according to roads, let's go and try. Okay. So just up to this point we read before, in Singapore, renting out road, yes, got road. Renting out road space to users means drivers, is the way of the future. Okay, so in Singapore, they are planning that every road user or every user or driver will be charged according to road space. Roads means road space, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so it's in Singapore. So let's take a bullet, another bullet point just to stop that. Okay, we just finished here. Okay, going back there. So it's in Singapore, right?
Yeah.
Singapore. Singapore.
Wait, that was question 3, right?
Yes.
So we have to write Q3 then.
Oh yes, thank you for mentioning. Yes. So that is question number 3. We have to write Q3 in here as well. So as we mentioned, easy and medium group, they always come according to ascending order. See, question number 1, then 2, then 3. And if we get 4 here and 5 there, could be, or if we don't get even 4 here, maybe 5 is there, then 4 would be in between 3 and 5, right?
Yeah.
Okay, time to go back to question 4 and take any keyword. Moving vehicles will be monitored for their exhaust emissions. Okay. Now, definitely exhaust emissions is a phrase, and see their exhaust emissions, I said if there are 3 words making a phrase, either any of the words or all of the words, or it can be these 2, found in the text. So we have to figure out if there is exhaust or emissions, but verb wise, monitoring, to monitor, monitored, monitors, will monitor, whatever can be found as well. But main is your exhaust emissions. Let's go back and try to figure out if there is anything called exhaust emissions. Royal Automobile Club, blah blah blah, found that, blah blah blah. Older kids are worst offenders, sizable number of blah blah blah. They simply turned. Okay, we got exhausts here though, but I didn't just, I tried to figure out if there's any emission.
No emission, so it could be
Yeah, but here it says when British Royal Automobile Club monitored exhausts. Okay, is there British in the box? Singapore, Tokyo, London, no British. We have to find out London. If there is London, or if there is any other place name, we can just read that. So we are ignoring that British though, and we are just moving forward. Okay, blah blah blah. California, see another space in that place. So is there any exhaust emission or exhaust? No, we did not get anything like exhaust emission, because as I said, phrase always normally come. Okay, part of European Union, blah blah blah, a London Council, blah blah blah, spectrometer, blah, goes the pollution,
London?
passing vehicle. Okay, useful, blah 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 blah. Exhaust, we got exhaust here. Okay, we got exhaust. We did not get emission, but we got exhaust. So we got here London. So we have to just read this and figure out if there is anything matching. So we got the question, and the question was saying, let's go back to question and just read the question once again. Moving vehicles. So it's not that normal vehicles, a vehicle that is moving. So a moving vehicle, and they will monitor the moving vehicle through their exhaust emissions. So let's go back and check if there is anything written there. And it says London Council is testing on infrared spectrometer from the University of Denver in Colorado. It gauges the pollution from a passing vehicle. Passing vehicle means moving
vehicle.
Yes. Okay, and see another technique I would like to say, that if there is hyphen here and hyphen there, try to think that there is nothing in between. So try to match this vehicle with this by. Okay, so it gauges the pollution from a passing vehicle by bouncing a beam through the exhaust and measuring. We got measuring what gets blocked. I got the answer just because we got monitor in the question, monitored, and also exhaust, and moving vehicle means passing vehicle. Going back again, moving vehicle means passing vehicle.
Yeah,
so
and Q4.
Yeah, that is obviously Q4 here. So Q4 here. Great. So the place name is definitely London. So we got London twice, isn't that? Yes, twice. London. Fine. And finally, question number 5. Commuters are encouraged to share their vehicles with others. It's a harder. Yeah, I know that commuters is in subject place. We're not going to take that, but we're trying to figure out if there is share and vehicles. Vehicle sharing or shared vehicles or to share or shares or will share or whatever. Share and vehicles. And that must be around any place, isn't that? So let's just go back.
But definitely under Q4.
Yes, after Q4. So we studied after this, and let's see if there is any sharing thing. Maybe link blah blah blah, video cameras able to blah, effort clean cars and blah blah blah. Los Angeles, a place name though, has some blah 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 for better. Is any sharing thing here? One solution is here in which people share.
Yeah.
So we got to share here. Now let's just try to read from this boom boom bullet point here to this boom boom bullet point here, and then try to figure out. Los Angeles has some of the world's cleanest cars, far better than those of Europe, but the total number of miles those cars drive continues to grow. One solution is carpooling, an arrangement in which a number of people who share the same destination share the use of one car. Okay, so for Los Angeles there is one solution. Let's just read another sentence and see if there is any clarification here. However, the average number of people in a car on the freeway in Los Angeles, which is 1.3, has been falling steadily. So the average number of people has been falling steadily means people in Los Angeles are not sharing their cars, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move this to here because we read up to this and we got our answer here, which is question number 5, isn't it? Q5. And how did we get? Because the question itself says, let's go back to question and just explain. Commuter means people.
Yeah.
Those who are going to the same direction are encouraged to share their vehicles with others. Now the similar message is given here, that one solution is carpooling, an arrangement in which a number of people who share the same destination, meaning that they are commuters, share the use of one car, meaning that car sharing.
Yeah.
Okay, we got that's in Los Angeles. Fine, we have successfully finished our matching, isn't it? We have matched all the locations with solutions.
And we have to write the answer.
Yes, right here, and that is LA or Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Fine. So, what did we learn? We learned that you read the first 3 sentences of the passage first, and then go to question, read the first question, pick a keyword, and then go back. Once you go back, try to figure out if you find the same or similar words somewhere, like cleaner cars we found here, and you mark with question number, read that sentence or at best 1 or 2 more sentences, and then you pick up the answer. And then again you go back to the question, you come back to the text again with another keyword or keywords, and then you find question number 2, answer for question number 2, 3, 4, all are given sequentially for the same group. But next group, if we say number 6 can be anywhere. So number 6 is started with yes, no, not given, right? Question 6 to 10. So let's try 1 or 2 because the session is already about 50 minutes. So we don't want to take much of your time. So in 6, we have to again pick up a keyword. For example, we know that yes means if this data given here, these data are matching exactly with the same data given in the text would be yes. If it is opposing, then no. But if it is partially given or not given at all, then it's not given. So we'll be discussing this question later though in our next video, but let at least try to give you a little idea about. So let's just read and pick up keywords. According to British research, so definitely we have British because this is something a proper noun and started with capital, meaning that it's a good keyword.
Yeah.
A mere 12%, see 12 is a number, it's not like a 50% or 100%, so 50 is here though, I can see. Yeah, so according to British research, so Great Britain did a research and a mere 12%, only 12% of vehicles tested, they tested a lot of vehicles, but 12% of them produced over 50% of total pollution. Okay, so pollution wise, total pollution, if you measure the total pollution, meaning that only 12% are very bad cars and they made half of the total pollution. So 50% of the total pollution by the sample group. So taking this knowledge in mind, the 12% vehicles according to British research produced over 50% pollution, right?
Right.
We are going and see if there is any British. If there is any British is your keyword. We did not get, we got British here.
British already there.
Yeah, British already got here. So we have to read here and see if there is any 12%. British Royal Automobile Club monitored the exhaust of 60,000 vehicles. It found that 12%, yes, it got 12%. Okay, so meaning that we have to write Q6 just here.
Yeah.
And now we have to read it carefully to figure out. It found that 12% of them produced more than half. Okay, is more than half the same as more than 50%?
Yes.
Because in the question, if we go back, say more than half here, but in the question we got over 50%. So over 50% means more than half and 12% means 12%.
Yeah.
British research matches. This is a match, this is a match, this is a match. Therefore, this is definitely yes.
Yeah. Right.
Once again, just go and check just for your clarification, because I know that there will be some students who are just the beginner. So when British Royal Automobile Club monitored the exhausts of 60,000 vehicles, it found that 12% of them, remember 12% of them produced more than half the total pollution. So only 12% cars are gross polluters. They just made that big percentage of pollution. So it's a yes. What I normally tend to do is I normally write this here as Y because it is a yes. So this is a yes. This is a yes. So I'm not just going to proceed anymore though, because it's a very long video, but I would like to just show you that how we did it. If we make it a bit smaller, this page, I can show you that. See one group, I just wrote one group here, question number 1, see, question number 1 here, question number 2 there, 3 here. So this is one set of questions, so that's why I marked on the left side. But because another group started on from here, I started to note down about the questions on my right side, so that I understand that I would be finding new answers from here to onward lines. But if I write the same numbers here on the left side, we might get mixed up. Yeah, confused. Yeah. So that's why it is always a bit organization. If you just do that organization properly, you will not get confused and you can use your time properly. Okay, we are now going back to the actual slide so that we can just finish our session very quickly and easily. So we just talked about the keywords. We also talked about ascending order, and we saw the ascending order in the reading right at the moment. And finally, we practiced a lot. So what to learn in parts 2 and 3? We would be learning these 6 things at least, and many more. Customized strategies for all question types. Every question type have their own strategies. For example, yes, no, not given. Why I did not discuss today, because you need to know actually this number game. See number 3, the number game. Number game is important for that type of question. We also need to know the upside down technique, key concept versus keywords. Sometimes keywords does not work, so we need to know that. Cyclic order, sometimes your ascending order will fail, and then you have to use cyclic order. And final technique as well. But before we post our next video, we need to know whether you like this session. So please try to write to us. It is now time to say goodbye, but do not forget to subscribe
and like and share.
Yes, if you have any questions, email us myenglishguru.org@gmail.com or
Facebook
myenglishguru.org, and you see there is another username which is @uglyasianguru, because I am an ugly man.
And if you're on Facebook, then do not expect prompt reply.
Yes, because we are very busy, and we try to definitely try to answer their questions as quickly as possible, but sometimes we are stuck, right?
Yeah, because there are too many ones.
Now, if you need any online sessions, I can conduct that. And if you want any face-to-face lessons, you can. If you're Sydney based, we are based in Sydney, right?
Yeah.
So definitely you can just send your query by emailing or through Facebook. Thank you very much. See you next time. Take care and bye.
Bye.